UAE is going to host the COP28 later this month in November 2023. As the conversation of climate change is happening all over the world, let's listen to the voice of the youth. We have with us Mr. John Paul, who is a student in Belgium, who is also a climate and sustainability activist, who has done a lot of work in the field of climate change, environment, and sustainability. Hello, Mr. John Paul. As we are gearing towards this COP28, so what are your views on climate change? And right here at the Global Media Congress, what do you expect AI to do in tackling climate change?
AI is one of the important tools in addressing climate change because in climate change, adaptation and mitigation is one of the important things. And when it comes to agriculture, we have to analyze how much it's going to impact in the sector, especially drought, heat waves, and other things which should be predicted much in advance to help farmers to protect their crops and also ensure the food security of our country.
See, climate change, as we can put it, we are borrowing from the future. We are borrowing the good environment from the future and we are using it. So, as a representative of youth, how specifically can AI help us in mitigating and adapting to climate change, especially in the realm of agriculture and
We could foresee the future already with the climate science. And when it comes to AI, we can integrate technology to see how climate change is fall into this crisis perspective. And also when it comes to climate change, we already know one of the biggest impact is going to be in agriculture sector. So when there is a heat wave, we could see the impact. For instance, we could measure the intensity in which the crops are going to get affected by it. So we could sow the seeds much early and can have an early harvest. And also we could facilitate irrigation facilities. For instance, drip irrigations. We could analyze based on the crops, how much water the crops need and how much it doesn't need. And thirdly, we could also see if the insects attack the crops, especially during summer or if it's during monsoons. And based on that, we could develop how we could have those mitigation technologies in agriculture.
okay. So one of the greatest challenges we face right now is climate change, and one of the greatest blessings that we currently have is AI. Based on your experience in the Arctic studies, can you give us some real life examples how it has been used?
So we have like projections for the Arctic. So how much the Arctic ice retreat will influence the globe. So we take the scenario from previous centuries to the future. So you could have like an AI modeling and showcase in the media or anything how the ice is retreating and new areas being opened up in the Arctic region, which could also lead to conflict and new opportunities. At the same time, in the other parts, we could see how it's contributing to sea level rise. So if you use that data on Mumbai or other regions like Bangladesh, you could see how increasing sea level is completely taking away like few inches of land and forcing people to migrate. So that's an important tool in identifying how we should strategize our policies to accommodate people who are impacted by climate change.
Yes. We are right at the Global Media Congress at Abu Dhabi, UAE. So, what kind of new conversation should happen in the media and in the digital media with related to climate change, and from the perspective of youth, what should ideally happen?
So we already know when it comes to media, it's mainly like a media showcases what people should see. And at the same time, we should also be able to know like what we would like to know. Because when it comes to nature and environment, we need more content in the media because people should be able to embrace our culture, which originated from nature and it is being threatened by climate change. So every region have a different story of climate impact. So it might be flood, even if it's in one region in India or other parts, it have a different story, how it affected them. It is related to a livelihood and it's related to how they contribute to the economy. So if the media could showcase it, if it's an investigative form or if it's like in a print form or like a normal story, others could use it as an information to study it, analyze it, do field study, and engage with the government to make better policies to strategize the climate adaptation and mitigations. And all those things are going to be exchanged in platforms like COP28, where each countries could learn from what is happening and how they could facilitate new collaborations and actions to achieve the targets each country is bring forth.
Thank you, John. One last question. Since you yourself is a student, so what will be your message to children and students to give a reassurance that the future is safe?
It is uncertain like how much we could ensure the safety, but we could be hopeful because there's a lot of things going on, whether it's like individuals taking different things or even like different institutes, organizations, or even governments. There are a lot of things being done already, but I would say it is not enough, but at least there is some progress compared to the previous years, because we have signed Paris Agreement, and in the last year we agreed on like loss and damage, and even the progress of climate finance is already getting discussed much wider form, and new things could happen even in COP28 to facilitate larger inclusivity and also to achieve our targets.
As UAE is gearing towards COP28, the message is loud and clear. Climate change has to be addressed and given the top priority, in not only in media conversation but in technology also. Thank you, John, for your time. All the best.